Hi girls, it's Period Help with Cozy Cat, and today I'm going to be doing embarrassing period stories. Now, I've only got one of them, but it's still embarrassing. I'm going to fix this. So this was my first period. It was a few days before camp, and it was my last day on the first day of camp, and we had just arrived at camp, and my friend knew that I was on a period my first time. No, none of my friends have started. Well, one of my friends has, but none of my other friends have. It's just me and her. And so yeah, and we were at camp, and when it was time to go to bed. But it was not actually time to go to bed. We just had to get down and unpack our stuff, and then we had to go up and do like a campfire thing. So I was there, and the teacher that was staying in the cabin with us was unpacking her bag, and she took out a packet of baby wipes, and then like a little period bag, and then her makeup bag. And my friend at the time, she looked at Miss Oren, and she's like, why do you have baby wipes? Are you on your period or something? And Miss Oren turned around and she's like, yeah, I actually am on my period, and I want to have a talk with you girls about period stuff, and that there's nothing to be scared of. And then my friend at the time, she burst out telling everyone that I had my period. So my whole cabin, which is 18 girls, knew that I was on my period. I ran to my bunk crying, and the teacher came, and she made my friend at the time apologise, and you know, I forgave her after, like, in the next morning when I slept on it and everything. I forgave her the next morning. And after that, and during that second day, I found out that she had told my friend, who's a guy. Now, I'm not going to say his name, or any of the other names other than Miss Oren, because I don't have their permission. So she told my friend, who's a guy. I have lots of friends who's a guys, but this one was different because I had known him for very long. And he's actually turned out to be one of my bestest guy friends, because even though my friend at the time told him not to come tell me that he knew that she had told him, he still came up and told me, listen, your friend told me you're on your period. And then I'm just like, what the F? Now, I don't mean to swear, guys, it's just I really was angry because he's a guy. And I went up to her, and I'm like, why the hell would you tell him? And she's like, what do you mean tell who? I'm like, and I said the guy's name, and she's like, what? And then she ran up to him, and she's like, I told you not to tell her. And he's like, yeah, so I was being a good friend. And she's like, well, you're not a good friend to me. And he's like, well, it's her body, something that happens to her, not to you. And so he became one of my bestest friends after this, because he actually came and told me when she said not to, and that really gained my trust with him. Anyway, so I hated her for ages, and I still wouldn't talk to her after camp, and we slept over for 3 nights and 2 days. So I still didn't talk to her for all of camp and a week after camp. I think about that, yeah. And then the teacher came to me, and she had a talk with me, and she's like, listen, this such and such wants to be your friend again. I'm like, she told everyone I was on my period. How do you expect me to forgive that? And she's like, she's your friend that friends forgive and forget. I'm like, I'll forgive her, but I'm never going to forget. And she's like, that's fine. And so I'm friends with her now, but she's not my best friend anymore. Like, she can't be my best friend if I don't trust her. Like, she's still really nice to me sometimes, most of the time, but I still can't trust her with things. So, yeah. But I have a new best friend. She was my friend at the time, but, yeah. And she stood by me the whole time while this girl was telling everyone and everything, and she looked out for me. And she was my, like, I used to think she hated me. But I used to think that she hated me because I was taking this girl away from her, because Jim Beanie. Wait, what? Sorry, I was just thinking. My dad was drinking. Sorry, I was talking to my dad. Anyway, so yeah, she's my new best friend, and yeah, I'm not gonna say her name because I don't have her permission to say her name, but she's much better of a best friend than that girl ever was. She's still my friend, that other girl, but not my best friend. So, thanks for listening to my embarrassing period story. I hope you guys are satisfied, and bye.